What would you do if you had the chance to get behind a machine gun?
Okay.
Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video. Look at this hair, it's horrendous, man. That's good news for me currently. Depends on where you're watching it from. The hairdressers and barbers where I live. It opens up again this week. Anyway, right, my name is Luke and welcome to Ranger Media. And today then, so if you haven't already sort of seen there, what you probably would have guessed is we're going to be talking about machine guns. So if you're just joining us with this video, what I've been doing is I've been dissecting my own sort of regiment, the Royal Irish, and sort of showing the sort of different specialisations and roles that you can do within the regiment itself. Now, if you're not coming to the Royal Irish and you're going infantry, you'll still get stuff out of it because quite a lot of infantry units still utilise these sort of different roles. And we are going to be talking about machine guns. So when I say machine guns, heavy weapons platoon. So they currently have a few different weapon systems in there. So you have a GPMG, which is general purpose machine gun. That's a sort of 7.62 variant that you can be carried, like it can be a personal weapon system as well. They use that in the SF role. That's not special forces, just means it's more of a support role as such. You can have a tripod and you can have a heavier rate of fire with it. They also use the 50 cal, which everyone will be sort of, will know off. You may have seen it in sort of films and stuff on the top of sort of armoured vehicles and all that type of stuff. And then the other thing they have, the thing about like the UGL that goes underneath the rifle, that there, but on a tripod, on a weapon system of its own in an automatic version, and it is so accurate, it's unreal. So they're the sort of specific weapons they use. Right, now following the sort of trend of the other videos, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be speaking to a few Irish Rangers who are, the sort of mixed times of their own careers, but the thing that they have in common is they've just completed the course to be a part of that sort of platoon. And they're going to talk about their experiences on that, what the transition has been like for them moving into that sort of platoon, and just a few bits and pieces in reference it itself. So that is it. I'm going to pass it on down to them, and we're going to go through some heavy weapons, and I'll see you at the other side of that.
I'm Ranger Humphreys.
I'm Ranger Maher.
I'm Ranger Moore.
I'm Ranger McCarthy.
So what type of weapons do you use in a heavy weapons platoon?
We use the heavy machine guns we do, and we use the grenade machine gun.
And so to get into the heavy weapons platoon, what do you need to do?
6 weeks Carter.
What's the Carter like? Well, what sort of stuff are you doing there?
A lot of live firing, learn the ins and outs of all the weapon systems that we use, and heavy carries.
Right, okay. You looked a bit shocked there. Come on, tell me. Heavy carry, what is it?
It's carrying about 60 kg over mountainous hilly terrain. It can be a bit of a grizz, but the reward is at the end of it when you achieve it. It's pretty good, the feeling of it.
How long does that take you?
The exercise phase was like 4 days long, and we'd have to go out and recce at night time, and then in the morning we'd have to set up a gun line and assault that position that we recce'd the night before.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you're carrying all the weapon systems?
Broke down.
Whilst doing that?
Flat packed between two lads, tripod and the GPMG itself.
So like in the platoon itself, what ways your teams work out?
Number one, he would have the machine gun, so he would, then the number two would have the tripod and his personal weapon.
The gun controller,
yeah,
and the gunner.
Right. So for you now down the Carter, you're now in a heavy weapons platoon. What are your specific roles in a heavy weapons platoon as an Irish Ranger?
As the Carter goes on, you find what suits you best. If you're going to be a gun controller, if you're going to be a gunner, and you kind of utilise that role to your own personal preference, really.
Yeah.
So
what's the difference between them two?
Gun controller does a lot more than a gunner.
Right. Okay. So gunner, is that, take it that's guys pulling the trigger?
Yeah.
Right. And gun controller sort of
he's
control the ammo, control the rate of fire,
and he's listening into the chain of command of the orders being given, rates of fire and SF targets.
Yeah. And I take it you're trained on 50 and GMG, so you don't have to be on a specific weapon.
No.
You can jump between all the weapons that are in there. What weapons are available in heavy weapons platoon? So that's everything.
It's your own personal rifle, the SAE.
Okay, cool.
The gun controller will carry that as a backup just in case the enemy closes in.
Yeah.
And you need to use your personal rifle.
Yeah.
And then you got your general purpose machine gun, the Jimpy.
Yeah.
And then you got your HMG, the heavy machine gun, 50
Yeah.
cal. And then you get your GMG, the grenade machine gun.
Okay. So there's a massive different range of weapons in there. And take it, did all use Royal Rifle Company before going in there? Like,
Yeah.
what's the sort of, for anyone who obviously doesn't understand about the different routes you can go in within the regiment, what's the difference being in guns to being a rifle company?
You have a lot more responsibility as well when it comes to these weapon systems.
Okay. So would you say it's a bit more at Irish Ranger level? It's a bit more senior.
Yes, most definitely.
Right. Okay. And then sort of, what's next? What's to look forward to? Have you got anything coming up specifically to the guns? So I know you've just come off the back of a Carter. Do you have any other exercises or anything coming up?
With Wessex Storm, I believe, coming up.
And then what will that see you doing as sort of guns?
We'll be working with the armoured vehicle. It's called a Husky.
You'll use that there behind you to get around the battlefield as well as moving around your feet.
Correct.
Yeah.
What sort of licenses and stuff do you need to drive it?
You need a Cat C.
Right, cool, happy days. Spot on. So to finish it off then, for anyone who then you think would be interested or wants to know more about the heavy weapons platoon within our regiment, what would you say to them, advice on looking to join up and to come for here, or basically what it's all about?
So if you wanted to find out more about the machine gun platoon, you can find it mostly onto the British Army website.
And obviously this channel as well, I do my best to bring you as much information as I can do on everything regards to the day job, which is this. Back in.
And if you want, you can more or less talk to the guys who are more experienced and have been in for a couple of years inside machine gun platoon, and they can give you the insides and out of what we do and how we do the day-to-day life of machine guns.
It's a big step up, so it is, from a rifle company, because you're expected more from you, like, and you know yourself, like, you have more responsibility as an Irish Ranger.
Don't be afraid of the heavy carries. They're actually not that bad, and it's a big achievement when you actually finish the Carter and become a gunner.
Right, cool, happy days.
The best time in machine guns is probably be getting set up on the ranges and putting rounds down the range.
It's live firing then, yeah, 100%. Brilliant. Anything else to finish off on guns? On your experiences, what you like about it?
I like the recoil in the weapons towards a rifle.
You
can see exactly where the round's landing and going to destroy that target, like.
Yeah, that's satisfaction then.
Yeah.
Right, cool, happy days. That's brilliant. Right, cheers lads, thanks for that. So there you go then, heavy weapons, and yet another specialist skill or trade that you can take up within the infantry. Excuse me. And people go, oh, trade, but like, how am I, how's firing a 50 cal machine gun qualifying me for civilian life? Yes, it's probably not. It depends what job you're going to do. But what it does then is just it broadens your mind and your different skill sets. So if you do start to become into you could fall into that sort of, what's the word I'm trying to think of here? You become slightly bored in the infantry, you've got another specialised skill there to go away off and do. That's your day job. So I'm not going to get into the sort of whole rigmarole of people asking me about what happens after the army. That's a totally different video, and I do say about it all the time. There's plenty of spare time to prepare for that. What this is in the start of your career. So we're talking like you're in the depths of your career and you're keen all the time, but you want that sort of what's the sort of different things I can be doing, and this is one of them. A great opportunity to do. You can follow the path the whole way through your career if you wanted to. You go Lance Corporal, Corporal, Sergeant and Colour Sergeant. Sergeant Major, which is WO2, you'd have to come out of that platoon because there's not a pin in there for that. But certainly all the other ranks you can do in there, and they have all their own not Lance Corporal, it's the same for everyone, but Corporal and Sergeant, all that type of stuff has its own specific qualifying courses to promote you within that sort of skill set. And you would have seen it there, they were sort of sitting on the edge of it, is the Husky. That is a vehicle they use as well. So yes, it's very good platoon to be a part of. Definitely very diverse, and with all the sort of different stuff you're going to be doing. You do need to be physically fit, you do need to be mentally robust, and everything else that you would sort of put a label on, being an infanteer, that's what it's all about. And there you go. So machine guns. like always, I hope you really got something out of this video. Please, if you did like it, consider liking it and sharing it on to someone else who you think is deciding on what they want to do within the infantry. This could be that, just one thing to sort of give them the more information on what they can do in it. So yes, that is it. And my name is Luke, and I will see you again on another informative video, which should be coming very soon.